If Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
It's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean? How is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Hey, I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the scene.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating. Hopefully that fucking stops.
All right, and welcome into another edition of the Third and Manageable Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Matt Diegert.
When do we get canceled?
Not ever.
Yet.
Not yet. No, I want to welcome in my other co-host, Student Body Right. Again, for another week. Just kidding. Obviously, just kidding. But welcome.
Yo,
in.
you're funny today.
Welcome
That was
in,
good.
welcome in, student. Glad to have you. Glad you're by my side again.
Fucking good to be seen, buddy.
So let's hit our sponsors first, real quick. Iliad Apollo's Restaurant, Ringside Lounge, 3785 South Park Avenue, Blaisdell, New York, 14219. We got beauty pools. We have kayak pools. We have Sons of Erie. We have. Who am I missing?
A couple of sponsors we can't announce yet because I'm not good at contracts.
Well, who else are we missing? Like, because I think there's like.
Fat Boy Surf.
Yep.
Hamburg.
Yep. Hamburg Brewing, Fat Boy Surf Club.
That story's so good. By the way, so I'm not a good bill collector. Accounts receivable has never been mine. It's just been pay me my money, and it's almost like pass me the ball, coach, and watch what I do with it. Texting the wrong person to collect on bills. So
yeah, that was a great story. I couldn't believe that when you told me. I was like, geez.
Yeah, this is the Do Champions podcast where money gets burned in infinitum and none of our takes matter. So, Maddie, what's up, big guy?
Not too much. How are we doing tonight?
Who are you texting right now?
I'm actually sharing this out so that people get to see us.
No, we got nothing to say.
We
might break the streak tonight. We might not have. Don Beebe couldn't do it tonight. Fischetti couldn't do it tonight. Jeremy Kelly couldn't do it tonight. Trista couldn't do it tonight.
Yeah, we were batting 1,000 for a while.
But I'm telling you, we're taking a lot of cuts.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the ones that he did give us a 100%. He gave us the fully in. So
who else gave us Tyree Jackson?
Tyree Jackson, Don Beebe. We have
nothing but illustrious guests, my man. Nothing but illustrious guests.
We have him set up for. It'll be playing on our channel on November 8th for the Third and Manageable. We are recording it a couple days prior, so you'll definitely be seeing some of the clips come out early, promoting that and everything. But definitely going to be a good show.
This person's telling me no, they're not coming on, and I refuse to take no for an answer. Can I ask you? And this is not me, being me, but am I one of the most aggressive people you've ever met? Or just there's a je ne sais, as the French say, a je ne sais quoi about my demeanor.
I would definitely say you're aggressive. That's definitely, but that's one of the great things about you, and why we have gone from 0 to 60 in.
0 to negative 60.
0 to 60 in about 6 months. So it's definitely
kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't believe the two sponsors. As soon as we get those
stop
contracts.
it! Don't do this. Don't tell everybody how. Why don't we just show people how great we are, not tell people how great we are?
Absolutely.
So before we talk football, Maddie, you got a couple sports of which you have some fandom in. You have a great podcast in the hockey one. I tuned in. I learned nothing. Much like in viewing the first couple Sabres games.
Except for my love of 66 and 99.
I don't know. I think you like your sports chilled just like your beverages.
little bit for sure.
And you 66.99. Yeah, I'm a 69 guy. So, why don't you impart on the audience What you got cooking on Saturday mornings with Beyond? Beyond's waking up at 6 a.m. He must really care.
We all do care about the Sabres. We definitely do care about the Sabres. We do have Duke Champions Hockey Hotline running at 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Definitely a lot of fun, a fun show to be a part of. I'm glad we finally got that started. I feel like Beyond and I were talking about it ever since we brought them on in June, trying to get something off the ground as far as Sabres goes. So we'll be providing, that to everybody, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. The other things we got going on, definitely watch us at 9 a.m., watch us at 9 p.m. with Jake, our data guy. He has a great podcast, the Buffalo Blueprint. And then Sunday morning, you got Jesse, Kevin, and Jake.
Dude, that is... If you want to laugh, I don't know if he wakes up with that type of vinegar in him, but like, it doesn't matter if he's up or down or like, stabilized or on tilt. Jesse just, he like invigorates my soul. Like, and this is such a bad thing to say at 35 years old. I'm drinking. The guy makes me want to hang out, and that's kind of what we do want to impart on people. Like it's a big hangout. Big announcements coming. We don't want to tease them too much because that's lame as hell. Both with sponsors, both with people joining the network. I'll shout it out right now. We've had great support from a lot of people that we look up to.
Yeah.
The guys over at Cover One, specifically Greg, the Shout Podcast, Ryan Talbot.
Yep.
How great has he been to us? Vic Carucci.
Yeah.
Eric Wood. Man, it's been fantastic. We got Pat Boyle from WFAN going to come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's called leveraging your connections, you fucking dick. Hey, you take over the show. You tell me about the Yankees. You tell me about the Sabres, where you see the trajectory.
So, definitely you got the Yankees going on right now. They're, in the middle of the ALCS. I'm not a big Yankees fan personally. I'm more Pirates, but they suck every year. So the last time they made the playoffs was 2016. Great little run there, but man, I feel like I saw something on Twitter last night about somebody talking about the Jets.
Well, we're gonna hear about the Jets because we got Pat Boyle from WFAN coming on. Pat Boyle, because I am the man. Everybody can just listen to my arrogance. So.
But no, I saw this thing, and I'll get your opinion on it too. Is he was talking about the Jets, and he said that he feels like everybody has that one team that they love, but they hate at the same time. Like they have to watch them.
I don't share that about the Jets. Like, cause I went to college in New Jersey, and I'm gonna tell you, like, when you're like deeply in the cups with some Rumplemans. And like some they don't have blue cheese really there. Some ranch or a fat sandwich. Say JETS. That is like gets the evil out. It's also every time I puked, that's how I would clear my esophagus. So Pat Boy wants to come on now. Fucking come on now, bro. Come on. Come on with it, baby. Let's roll. I'm going to throw him through. You want to play him? You want to play him in the Titans trivia game? Because who are we playing?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get his take them signing Devontae Adams and
that's the other big news that we got this week too. Literally, I feel like it's within an hour of each other. The Bills traded for Amari Cooper. It's like an arms race between the Bills and the Jets are down two games right now. 2.5 games if you want to look at it that way, because the Bills are up 1-0 in the series right now, the division series of them. So, it really, I don't know, man. It just, Devontae Adams does scare me a little bit because going on the Jets, because if Aaron Rodgers gets Devontae Adams of Green Bay rather than Devontae Adams of the Raiders.
If we get Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay, we're so the guy's an agent of chaos, bro. It's a trail of flies of everything, executively, front office wise, team continuity. At what point do you pin the blame on? Where you at? I feel like I'm not saying much because you know me. I don't bag on that stuff.
But
I'm very close to bagging on dog. you're at the talent of your career. Like, do you want to be known for this? Because he's quickly, if he stays on this Oregon Trail, he's going to be known for dysentery and not for colonizing fucking California.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to say.
Clip that, Jake.
That's one of the things I was going to say because.
Oh, but yeah, real quick. Yo, midseason moves. Midseason.
Oh
moves.
yeah.
Let's see, can I get a Coke Zero? Real quick. A little Coke Zero. Cheers it up. Midseason moves. Midseason moves. Cheers, viewers.
Yeah. There we go.
Cheers. Midseason moves. Tastes like combating diabetes. You know, no sugar.
No sugar though.
Ton of aspartame. So but that's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. You know, no sugar in his.
But I mean, that's
wait. Stop. I don't even care. It's not even cool.
I'm sitting back in my seat listening to you. So.
Yeah. No sweetness in his moves and nothing but aspartame. Aspartame's known for getting you later in life, getting you down the road, and this is the twilight years of his road. He's done with the sweetness of the full body cokes, and he's just going to behave the way he is because I truly feel like he feels like he's achieved a body of work that enables him to kind of, I don't know anything, but behave like this. But like I do know the track record of the trail of flies that Aaron Rodgers tends to exist in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
that's fair, right?
I mean, let's ask the man himself here, Pat Boyle. Let's welcome him into the show, and we'll definitely get him on here and get his take.
Man,
what's going on, guys?
Are you sporting like just a little bit of lip furniture there? Is that a mustache I'm seeing?
It's a pathetic excuse for a mustache. Yes.
I don't know, man. You come from the school of Keith McPherson, so there's nothing pathetic across those airways, man. I remember I called in, and this is my public apology. I called in because I always call with Keith. We were college teammates, and remember I was just like, Josh Allen, Sean McDermott. You know, at the time, Aaron Rodgers, Rob Saleh. I'm like, who is more tethered to their coach? And you gave this like beautiful response. I'm like, yo, shout out to Keith McPherson. I love you. And you're just like, yeah, I don't know what that was about. I don't know if he was ragging on me or something like that. I'm like, I ruined everything.
You DM'd me after. I know what that was. Who knows? You get trolls every now and then. Just you wanted to shout out Keith at the end. I was filling in on his show. But yeah, you asked me that question. And I believe I said Rodgers and Saleh, right? Or I basically made the argument that don't be surprised if Robert Saleh gets the booty or if they get off to a slow start.
That's why I'm bringing it up, my man. You were correct. You can break your arm patting yourself on the back because you did not get one iota of that wrong.
Yeah, it was set up perfectly that with the window closing, maybe you get another year after this for Rodgers, but things didn't get off to a good start. Who are you going to blame? You're going to fire the quarterback, the Hall of Fame quarterback. You're going to fire the head coach that hasn't won in the 3 years prior to Aaron Rodgers being healthy and playing Jets. It was always going to be solid. They felt like the team needed a quote-unquote spark. And I thought maybe they would have gotten a spark on Monday night in Buffalo and probably should have won the game. Greg Zerline could field goals, but not the case.
So where's your pH level right now? In terms of acidity for the team right now, now that you lost the direction of a guy who's been there for a while, you took a path of which Woody Johnson really has never taken midseason before. Where's the vinegar level, and does it balance it out with a little bit of a basis in signing Devontae?
Yeah, I mean, the offense again on paper is incredibly scary now that Devontae Adams is here with this team. It's somebody that Rodgers made a Hall of Fame career out of when he was with the Green Bay Packers and is one of the best receivers of the last 15 years in football. So now that Garrett Wilson's got some help along with Brees Hall in this running game, I mean, the Jets should be a playoff team, but they should have been a playoff team going into the season. And I never really believed in Aaron Rodgers. I didn't believe in the coaching staff, which has now been drastically changed. Not only Todd Downey's now falling the plates because Nate to do as good of a job as my 7-year-old nephew saying ask Matt playing video games.
Jeez Louise. Oh my God. So like I gotta work that one through. So is this just kind of a hurry up and wait, like kind of directionally in terms of, yeah, we got the player. Now we need the coach and ride this one out. Or, it's hard. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat any team once, let alone twice. And you guys have like an entire division to replay. I think that if there's a team, Matt, maybe you agree with me, in the AFC, I think they take one on us. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I really do think that the Jets.
It was too close,
I think
man.
the Jets get the one here, and I truly think it is because of the addition of Devontae Adams, but also the Bills just added Amari Cooper too. Like, I mean, they kind of like the Jets before. Had it just been Devontae Adams, and the Bills don't do anything, then sure, I definitely take that to think that they're going to take
Pat,
that.
are you going to be the one? Because an ex-coworker was the one who sent him. Who did he send the sandwich to? That was actually my ex-coworker who sent the sandwich
to Mike Williams.
To Mike Williams.
Williams.
Are you going to be the guy who sends the chopped cheese to Devontae Adams? Because I feel like if you really want to creep somebody out, it's not going to be the glasses or the mustache. It'll be sending them food that they don't know who handled.
I'm not saying nothing to the Jets, man. I've been on air all season and all September and October so far saying I don't believe in the Jets. I don't root for them to fail, but I've kind of expected it. And they have cultivated their fan base to expect is failure. So I never really believed the 40-year-old quarterback coming off Achilles was going to do much this year. Devontae Adams absolutely raises the floor and the ceiling. I just think there's way better team right now.
Clip that. That is beautifully stated. So, Pat, if you can give me maybe a minute elevator pitch. You're on WFAN, my man. That is, as Keith says, there are less people who have started an NBA game for the New York Knicks than broadcasted a show on WFAN. How'd you get here, man, real quick? Because damn impressive, man.
Thanks. That's more of a problem with the New York Knicks, and I've had to watch guys like Fed play in NBA games over the last 10 years than anything else. But no, man, just grinding out of college. Starting with
when'd you know this could be the one? This could be the main thing. When'd you know?
I mean,
you're a Rutgers guy, right?
Millions of other guys.
You're a Rutgers guy, right?
What'd you say?
You're a Rutgers guy, right?
I didn't go to Rutgers, but I've been doing play-by-play for them since I graduated.
Birthplace of college football.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean this truly. Like, have you had your have you been in like Green Rock and Hoboken? Because you look like a Hoboken guy. I lived there for a while. Have you been in Green Rock? Have you been in Green Rock? And they're like, hey, Pat Boyle, can you like say hi to my aunt? She loves you.
Only a couple of times. I don't know. I know Positive Tommy Lugauer gets recognized everywhere he goes now. But no, I have been to Green Rock. I actually did karaoke in Green Rock a couple of years ago.
Was it Bon Jovi or Bruce?
No, it was neither. It was Backstreet Boys.
Dude,
it was like 7 or 8 drinks in. That's not a song you choose sober.
What exit are you pulled over on the Parkway right now?
I'm actually still in the parking lot outside of what used to be called the Rack. Now it's Jersey Mike's Arena.
Would you give us 3 more minutes and would you play a trivia game real quick versus the Titans versus Matt real quick? I would love it.
Sure.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Let's do this. We got the Titans this week.
Good to be seen, right?
We're doing it. All right, since you're the guest, Pat, we'll give me the number 1 or 2, and then based on that correct response, you'll pick if you want to go first or second. The first 1 to 3 wins. 1 or 2.
1.
You go first. Here's a question: you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay. How many Heisman Trophy winners have played on the Tennessee Titans? Not the Oilers, the Tennessee Titans. How many Heisman Trophy winners have played on the Tennessee Titans?
I'm going to go with 3.
That is correct. Maddie, to you. You're down 1-0.
All right.
Here we go. How many yards was the Music City Miracle kickoff return for? How many yards was the Music City Miracle kickoff return to? And I'll give you odds. Was it 81, Was it 72 or was it 75? Was it 81, 72, or 75?
81.
That is incorrect.
72, isn't it?
Here we go. We're going bat to Pat. This is so great that I conned Pat into doing this. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to go home and like just eat like a Factor like pre-cooked microwave meal. Here we go. How many Pro Bowls did Taylor Lewan achieve in his illustrious Titan career? A Michigan man. How many Pro Bowls did Taylor Lewan achieve in his career for the Titans? Big variable guy.
I'm gonna go with 7.
He got 3. 2016, 2017, 2018. Oh, we only got 2 questions left. So you got to win both, Matt. Here we go. He loses this one. We'll go back to Pat. Here we go. Last one. What stadium did the Tennessee Titans play their first season in? Pat, we'll give you the opportunity to steal.
Vanderbilt Stadium.
Oh, he got it. Come on with it, baby. No, it doesn't matter. Here you go. Pat, you can win it on here, and then we'll cut you off, and you can go home. He doesn't have to pump his own gas, by the way. He's in Jersey. That is a luxury. He wins no matter what. There's going to be 2 falses and 1 truth. What were alternative nicknames for the Titans franchise besides the Titans? 2 false and a truth. Spot the truth. The Tennessee Copperheads, the Tennessee Outlaws, the Tennessee Wranglers. The Tennessee Copperheads, the Tennessee Wranglers, the Tennessee Outlaws. Spot the truth.
Copperheads is the truth.
You just smoked you. You win, Pat. Hey, yo, really appreciate you coming on, man. If anybody doesn't know, WFAN, he's on there a ton. He's the voice of Post Rutgers football. You know, the one thing that really cooked my grits is during the COVID year, I was a FCS guy. So Monmouth never got to play Rutgers. That would have been our first Big Ten thing. And, man, you know, I just feel a little bit better about my inside still being intact because we would have got mollywopped. So, yo, Pat, anything you want to pitch or just get the heck out of here?
That's it, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
So kind of you, man. Let's get together soon, man.
Thanks,
I really do
Pat.
appreciate it, man. Good luck with Devontae Adams and good luck finding a direction for your meaningless franchise. Bye. No, I'm just kidding, man. You're great. Thank you so much, bro.
Thanks, Pat.
That guy's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. We have a streak.
I feel good. That's cool. I lost to him. Whatever. Like, yeah. Where'd mine go?
So back to me being a bully. Streak's alive, bud. Nothing but illustrious guests. It's Pat Boyle for WFAN, man.
Yeah.
Keith has nothing but great things to say about him. So here we go, bud. We got a game. When are we playing it?
Sunday at 1. We are playing the Tennessee Titans. It looks like Tavondre Sweat's going to be in.
It looks like Amari Cooper's in.
Amari Cooper does look like he's going to have some sort of playbook in there for him. Super excited to see him actually get to play with a quarterback again because I think his last quarterback he actually played with was Tony Romo.
Wait, Amari Cooper's that old?
2015.
Does he have a? He definitely has a.
I think it was
he's got a BCS national championship, right?
With Alabama, I think. Yeah.
Who was in his like wide receiver subset?
As far as what? What do you mean?
Like you know. Alabama has never had just one perennial wide receiver. They've always had just a tandem.
I'd have to look it up. I really don't know from that far back.
So okay, so he debuts at 1. Do you wish with all the primetime games? Do you think we could have gotten up? Like, don't you think like if we're introducing him to another team, wouldn't you want it to be like a Monday or a Sunday night game, man?
I mean, I could care. I honestly could care less. Anything to help this team win because they truly do have to. And before, like we would always talk about it, how hard it is to win. On Sunday, a Monday, a Sunday night, whatever. How hard it is to win in the NFL.
I mean, he did win a Biletnikoff Award in 2014. I mean, he set the SEC record for receiving 1 year. He almost had like 1,700 yards, and I think that was the same year he had like 16 touchdowns. He was a 4th overall for the Raiders. Shout out Kevin, fumbling, and just mumbling into your fandom. I'm gonna take a drink for you, but he has he kind of has like a little bit of an interesting deviation to him, Matt. He's not the typical or the accepted persona of a wide receiver one. You're not going to see him in the media. Yes, he was a little upset for the non-extension in Dallas, but you didn't see him negotiating in the media. You didn't see his agent saying peep really. You see him as a nose to the grindstone kind of guy, who's a results driven commentator. Like you're not gonna see him deviate off the script, and I think that is to his core who he is. And that is a fresh take from a guy who's just tweeting Drake lyrics and saying, you're the issue, not me. How you feel is how you feel. Matt, like, how do you... How
do I feel about Amari Cooper?
Well, first of all, where were you when you got dropped on that? The Browns are liquidating the balance sheet.
I was working, doing my day job, and I
don't even know what my day job is anymore.
I saw Devontae Adams get traded, and then I was going to take the dogs out, and then my phone goes off, and literally saw the Browns are trading Amari Cooper too, and I'm like, oh my God, be the Bills. like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I had to read it like 3 times. Amari Cooper traded to the Bills. I was like, holy shit, Brandon Beane actually made a move. Not that he actually made a move, because he does whatever he can to, but
one time for midseason moves, my man.
And it's not even necessarily like him making moves, because he's done a good job trying to bring in what he can for the year. Like even going back to 2017 trade deadline, brought in Kelvin Benjamin, didn't work out, okay. But
how does the poker table flip in terms of what's on tilt? What we gave up or what we gained?
I think it's truly better because we gave up the 3rd and the 7th, and we got back Amari Cooper in a 6th. Even if it's just a rental, and the chemistry doesn't work out with him, or he comes in and he's got all the drops, and he still has issues with the drops, and it wasn't just Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Sure, we could say hindsight's 20/20, but at this point right now, Amari Cooper, he's one of the a quiet guy. Shuts his mouth. You never hear anything about him in anything.
Maybe that's. I mean, for better or worse, maybe that's why I don't.
I mean,
know.
He's younger.
Maybe I don't. Why I don't know so prolifically about his game.
And
it's because he doesn't wear a billboard on his chest.
And I do apologize. His quarterbacks in Oakland were Derek Carr. Then he moved on to Dallas with Dak Prescott, and then Joe Flacco in Cleveland, and then Deshaun Watson. He had a couple in Cleveland before Joe Flacco, obviously, but I
mean, at this point, it's got to be pretty clear that Cleveland is
giving up. Yeah.
And I thought of a point, and then unfortunately, it was validated by somebody I hate. No free shout-outs. If you're the Cleveland Browns, how do you get rid of that steaming pile of dog excrement in that Deshaun Watson contract? Because I thought about it.
I mean, you really can't.
I thought in my head how he did it, and it was validated by somebody I hate. So
you really can't get rid of it.
Yes, you can.
Well, you really can't.
You want to hear it? You want to hear how I think?
Yeah, I'll let you get to it in a second. But I mean, without strapping them for the next 2 years, you really can't.
Okay. You want to hear?
Go ahead.
The way you get rid of Deshaun Watson is through creative packaging. What you do is you find somebody who's got the liquids, the cap space, and you're going to have to trade your 1st round pick because you're tanking, and Deshaun Watson for somebody to warehouse that contract on the balance sheet. So basically, in essence, if all the juice is squeezed out of Deshaun Watson, basically, you are trading your 1st round pick for cash balance sheet.
It really does make that year he took off look like.
Isn't that kind of brilliant?
It does. I mean, it is definitely a good way for them to get rid of him. But, you lose that 1st round pick that you could.
It's the only way to get him off. Because you're not trading Deshaun Watson. If he's juiced, if he's an orange rind.
But how do you as the NFL coach of the year twice now with Stefanski, how do you go out in the public and say, oh, he gives us the best chance to win? Like, seriously, you have Jameis Winston on the bench. I'd rather have his 30 interception year with 30 touchdowns than...
Jameis Winston can manage a game.
Yeah. I mean, and with them having Nick Chubb come back now and still having the defense that they do...
You think they deal him?
Chubb, no. I don't think so, just because... I think if something makes a deal squeal, anybody.
If something makes a deal squeal for the Browns, nothing is out of sorts for the chopping block.
That's the thing. Like even
they are so fucking in the cups, cash wise, that they're gonna feel this for the next 4 to 6 years. That's just what it is. You know, they call it the mistake on the lake. This could go down as one of the worst trades
ever.
I mean, who would compete with it? Not because of offset success. We all know, like, the Vikings and the Cowboys, right? With Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker trade.
We all know, but that's known as the most lopsided trade because of residual success. This is a lopsided trade because someone got fleeced.
Yeah. And it wasn't,
and that hurt. And that
it wasn't the Browns. I mean, it wasn't the Texans.
Well, the thing about the Texans is they could take this and make it a microcosm of what the Cowboys did and make it all successful. But it's the Texans,
right?
But then again, we just lost to the Texans. So
yeah, I mean, and that's yes, we lost to the Texans. We did, but
keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think we lose with Amari Cooper. To be honest with you, if we played against the Texans,
you can't say that. There's some of the things that went wrong with that game that you can't hang your hat that one individual would have had so much influence to fix all that was wrong with that game, and you know that.
No, and I agree with that, but where they ended up, and if you're putting Amari Cooper in there rather than as your number one receiver rather than Matt Collins, I truly think that the Bills win that game.
Stop it.
I do think that they score another at least touchdown. I think it gives them at least a touchdown.
I think it gives them at least access to a full route tree, but you have to understand that the Texans corners are still the Texans corners. I don't want to do revisionist history.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see him in the playoffs.
This is Friday. Friday night happy hour quarterback. That's it. But how on a logarithmic scale, like what % better do we get?
I think this
we can do some math here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this takes the Bills from being
I think a B. I think a B plus to a minus.
Playoff contender to Super Bowl contender. I truly do.
Why?
Why do I think that? Because I think that they were a playoff contender before.
I'm out.
I think that they were.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Go. Are you fucking kidding me?
Not at all. I do think this puts them at the upper. I think it puts them back in the upper echelon of the NFL.
That's not what you said.
I think that makes them a Super Bowl contender.
Go ahead.
You got basically 3 teams that right now.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I think that they have 3 teams in the top of the NFL. You have the Chiefs, you have the Ravens, you have the Bills. Those are the 3 teams. Before it was the.
How has that fucking changed in the last fucking 4 years?
Because I think the Bills, it looked like
it's the same couple teams, and we're not dynamically different. You know who is dynamically different? The Ravens with Derrick Henry. This is not a Derrick Henry signing, and you know that. True or false?
I think it's false.
Take a report.
I think it's false, and the reason I will say that to you,
wrong.
I'll say that to you.
You think this is on par? This signing, Amari Cooper, is on par with the king, Derrick Henry, who literally will run over your face over and 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 over. Can't even get Amari Cooper the ball that much, man, because our defense get off the field.
So here's what I'm trying to explain to you.
You know my cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
Where he dismisses the witness?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah. So I'm going to explain this to you the way that I see it personally.
Explain it to someone.
Amari Cooper doesn't just get more balls thrown to him. It's opening up the rest of the offense. It's opening up the run because Josh Allen hits some of those throws down the field that Keon was missing, or he catches some of those quick slants over the middle, or anything. He opens that up to the run game because now you're pulling a guy out of the box. Now you're potentially only having 7 guys in the box rather than having 8. So now you become dynamic again, and then now that you're dynamic, now we're gonna bring down a guy, and so now you got to deal with Shakir, you got to deal with Cooper, you got to deal with Keon Coleman, you got to deal with Dalton Kincaid, you got to deal with Dawson Knox. It's gonna open up the rest of the offense, so Josh can now again find the open guy.
If the defense get off the field, it's a 3-part game, right? And I think it's about time we introduce the third part. We brought in somebody this week.
We did,
brought in a kicker that is supposed to instill competition, and I think Tyler Bass handled his meet the media day really well. Exactly how you want to handle it as a kicker, where it's almost a binary, like you make it or you don't. He's like, this is a results driven business, and he accepts that there's someone there. But at the same time, if they didn't really feel like Tyler Bass was an issue, they wouldn't have released MVS, right? They're trying to tell us that it's a bigger issue, our performance in converting kicks about the upright, than the upside of a guy that really did something for the Chiefs.
Well, you have to remember the MVS move was for Amari Cooper.
Sure.
They signed Havasek.
Says you.
They signed Havasek to the practice squad, not to the 53, because they truly we talked about it at the beginning of the year. It's truly almost more money than their salary cap to release Tyler Bass.
Can you say with full confidence that it's this for that, or this is what makes us feed the steam engine? Like we can't say like we did this for this, or we can't assign releases to trades. We can't really do that. This is what happened. MVS was let go, right? And we can't assign it to Tyler Bass's competition or signing Amari Cooper. You don't know that.
No, and what I'm saying, you know what
I'm saying though?
I do understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying though is the Bills had 53 guys. They traded draft picks for Amari Cooper. That puts them to 54. So before that trade could even be done, they had to release a guy. They're not going to release Tyler Bass.
But in the same breath, we brought somebody on. Like you're trying to tell me that like that like in the timeline of which it was reported, that was when we miraculously came up with the direction of which we were going. You don't think this Amari Cooper thing was days and weeks in advance, and knowing that like, hey, this is the performance we got out of Bass. You don't think they're all molding that into the same bowl of dough and just being like, we're gonna do this, and that. Like you can't assign releases and practice squad moves to specific transactions. It's just because you don't know the timeline of which these things, it started have been created, But does that make sense?
It does make sense, but what you have to remember though is they had 54 guys on the roster.
I hear you.
With MVS and Amari Cooper there, so they could have released anybody on the roster. They could have released Joe Andreessen. They could have released whatever, but they chose to release the wide receiver because they had Amari Cooper coming in.
You're not hearing me.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to repeat myself. You don't know how long these things were in the works, and you deal with a body of work of which I think the Amari Cooper thing probably had more legs and more phone calls than viewing Tyler Bass's performance on Sunday. Did you think it was that bad, Matt?
Tyler Bass's on Monday night?
Yeah.
I mean, he got the point after attempt blocked.
Okay,
and then
but
he missed
that's a big cat paw.
Yeah, I mean, the guy gets his hands up, but that's now the second one in as many weeks to get blocked a point after get blocked. So I don't know if it's like the way he's kicking it. I don't know whether it's,
Could be. I mean, we don't have a kicking coach.
No, and
Like we have a commitment to competition, but we have a commitment to the process, but we don't have a commitment to a kicking coach. Once again, to clean that up so we can clip it, we have a commitment to the process. We have a commitment to competition, but we don't have a commitment to hiring a kicking coach.
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And
Those are just facts, bro.
At this point,
I just don't see it as such a macro issue. That okay to your ethos. If we don't sign the practice squad competition, MVS is still on the team.
no, he's not.
No,
No,
is that bad math?
that's bad math.
Right. I traded all week. Whatever. I don't even care about this podcast anymore.
Oh, stop it.
No, I really do. Honestly. What do you think? Here we go. We're on to it. Let's go. You put in a fresh shit. I got it. What is going to be the peak of the pit? What do you fear is going to be the pit on Sunday at 1 p.m.?
So the pit for me.
You like this segment, don't you?
I do.
I stole
really
it from
do.
the Kardashians. they're like shaking their salads. Like, hang on. That's tobacco, but they're shaking their salads. Like, what was the peak in the pit of the day? Like, you know what? I'm not gonna bag on them. They're all children of the late O.J. Simpson. So
Yeah, just Chloe. But but anyways, yeah, a little bit of clown show with that one. But with that being said, I mean,
let's go to the
pit. I'm going to give you both mine on one on defense, one on offense.
Do it to me.
On defense, I think it's the safety room. I really do.
Okay.
They do have good receivers with the Titans. Whether they want to be there or not, that's to be seen. Because Will Levis is absolutely atrocious. And they can't get him the ball, but
we don't do that.
But they have somebody that in their team that we watched against Jacksonville last year. When we played in London against Calvin Ridley, always open. So they have to be able to. The safety room has to not give up the big play again. We saw it with DeMar Hamlin against the Texans on that long Nico Collins touchdown. They did clean it up a little bit. The Texans only scored, a couple of points after that. I think it was 9 total, because it was 23-20, and that put them up 14. So they scored 9 points after that. But I truly think it's going to be the safety room. And on offense, I think the pit is going to. I don't know. I don't even.
Take a minute.
I don't even have one for the offense because it.
Can I
It can't be Josh Allen.
Can I co-op this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think an urgency to integrate Amari into the offense. That could be a pit. No.
No, I mean it absolutely can be. I mean
But the pit is always a fear.
Right. No, absolutely.
That is a big fear of mine to force balls, like old school outlaw cowboy, like Josh Allen.
But here's
because you can make the throw doesn't mean you
gotta
can throw it. Exactly.
Absolutely. No, and that does scare me a little bit too. Josh Allen now has a number one wide receiver, wants to keep him happy, but again, everything we've heard all week, everything we've heard for his entire career in the NFL, he's a quiet guy, just goes out and does the work, doesn't complain, just goes out and catches balls, right? So I'm not as worried as maybe you are, but that does still worry me because in the back of Josh's head
I don't think you're going to see the fruits of this. I don't think you're going to see the fruits of this trade until
maybe week 11 against the Chiefs, maybe against the 49ers. Maybe it comes as soon as against the Seahawks here. because they do have a good defense. They have good corners. I don't think they're. If they had decided not to play Amari Cooper this week, I don't think I would be too upset because you're playing against the Titans. You're playing against a team that is down one of their top corners, or potentially one of their top corners. In L'Jarius Sneed, who's questionable. Do they? Does he want to risk it? Does he want to do? For a team that's clearly not good. So I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with what they're doing, and I'm okay with that being a pit and that being something that is in everybody's back of their mind, because we did have Diggs here, but he's nothing like Diggs from everything we've heard.
Yeah. Peak.
I'm gonna go. My peak on defense is going to be your cornerback room. I think Benford and Douglas are going to have very good games. I was actually looking at some numbers 2 nights ago for Douglas and for Benford. Benford's been targeted 18 times. Douglas has been targeted 17 times.
For such expensive equipment, I should really understand how to use it, but continue.
Excuse me. Benford's only given up 9 for 60, 62 or 67. I can't remember which one it was. And Douglas has given up 11 for 149, which doesn't sound great, but when you put it into context, one of those catches was the Nico Collins catch.
Yeah.
For 72
yards.
yards.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up.
So,
because especially only playing 35% of the season or something like that, data can get distorted. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy you're on this podcast and you recognize specific events that can distort perception, especially if you're just a data hound. That's why I do think data is to be used as an enhancer to the eye test, much like Vic Carucci said. But I think the peak of which we can truly capitalize on, really, is we are defined on where we're at. We're not a darling, Maddie. We're not a darling. We are not the pre-crown champions. We are the same September champions that, unfortunately, Nick Wright always calls us. So is what it is. Get some of that underdog mentality back, right? Just isn't that could be the peak. That could be the modus operandi of which could carry us with infinite legs.
Well, and this is a type of game that I
completely because I respect your opinion completely. Does that resound in your soul too?
No, it does. And really the thing that
it's almost humbling.
The thing that I always worry about, especially with any team, any Buffalo team, for whatever reason, it just almost seems like they play down to the competition. And if you want to be that upper echelon team that, we're sitting here arguing about back and forth, you want to be considered that Super Bowl contender, you want to be considered that, perennial playoff contender, perennial Super Bowl contender, Sean McDermott, second best winning percentage out of any coach behind Andy Reid. You want to be up there with them. You got to go out and prove it. You got to go out and prove it every single week.
Well said.
And you can't play down to the Titans. If this game is close, there is no reason this game should be close whatsoever. You should be on Will Levis. You should be on DeAndre Hopkins. You should be on Calvin Ridley. They should not be able to complete balls with 2 of the top corners in the NFL. Truly. They should not be able to do anything. And yes, we talk about
tall.
We talk about all the time of
keep going.
Matt Milano being out. Okay, Dorian Williams is one of the.
You've had 2 years to figure it out.
Dorian Williams is one of the better tacklers.
You had 2 years to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
This is he's an all-pro and stuff. You've had 2 years to figure it out. Fuck, I'm sorry, man.
No,
but,
no,
like,
you're good. I mean, I
but
agree
you hear
with you.
me, right?
I agree with you. And
You fucking hear me.
yeah, I agree with you.
I'm sorry. Fucking, I got mad, but like, God, I'm so sick of that. Figure it the fuck out.
It's tough too because
You want to talk about another team?
not at all, not at all. I love talking about the Bills. I could talk to them.
But aren't you sick about talking about that? Doesn't it like weigh on you like the same old issues with the unchanged situation? And you know what? It was an unchanged situation with fucking Trey. We cut bait. I'm not saying cut bait with my Milano, but cut bait with the narrative that he's not playing. He hasn't played in a very long time.
Right. It's been
Figure it the fuck out.
It's been a full calendar year since he's played.
You're in charge of like your own like your own mindset, your own game set. Like the fact that this wasn't figured it out and sorted within scheme, within player acquisition, like no one knew what we were getting back with Matt.
Well, and that's one of the things I heard. I heard today from Jordan Schultz on Colin Cowherd.
I do like Schultz.
Yeah, I do too. He's the one who reported the Amari Cooper trade, but he also said he feels that the Bills are not done, and they potentially could be looking at a linebacker and a safety.
Then how awful?
Safety.
Then how off? Okay, Matt. Then how awful are we going into this? If we're not done now. Yeah.
I mean, but we've all
no. I want an answer. How off were we going into this then?
Into the season in general?
Yeah.
I don't think that they were very off. I think
then why are we hanging on a fucking thread for the like? I always said like there's going to be a move that we don't see that Bean is tailoring throughout this entire thing. That's great. But it doesn't change my anxiety. So how off was I? That like how many balls did we have to replace with all the wide receivers we lost? What 270 something
like
fucking
that, yeah.
catches? How naive was I that we could replace it with toothpicks and duct tape in free agency?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does suck, but
especially the way we fucking we tailored it.
But that's the thing. I'd rather they do it now and fix it now.
Well, yeah, because there's a trade deadline.
If we no. And here's the point is you play the first 5 weeks the same that you played the week 4 and week 5.
Did you say 5 weeks or everybody eats?
If you play week 4 and week 5 like you played the first 3 weeks, and then something happens later in the year where now we see the lull. I'm glad we have the lull now against the Texans and against the Ravens because now it showed not necessarily that
those are AFC teams.
Not necessarily that Josh.
Those are AFC teams.
Not necessarily
that we're going to probably see again. So how can you be happy about it?
Because it showed.
Yeah.
It showed Brandon Beane that they needed something else. They couldn't do this.
You win.
They couldn't do this. Everybody eats against every single team. It's not going to work because they shut down. Khalil Shakir gets hurt. Okay. They don't have any options against the Ravens.
Changes your identity.
They don't have any options against the Ravens. Khalil Shakir doesn't play against the Texans. They don't have an identity. They're throwing. They're using Mac Hollins as number 1 wide receiver.
You're right.
So I mean, it allowed Brandon Beane to see it. And then, even though we beat the Jets, didn't have that go-to receiver for Josh.
Did we beat the Jets? We won against the Jets.
Not that Josh needs it. He proved that he doesn't need a number 1 receiver, that he can play with that. But it makes him that much better to have that.
I think we're operating with way more delta than we thought. We're not as staunch. We're not as seeking alpha in terms of trading terms. I think we're operating with a lot of delta.
I would agree. I would absolutely 100% agree with that. And I think it delays to use one of your terms. What is the one about time that you always give me? The time decay.
Theta.
Thank you.
We're really talking about trading.
So I truly think that with the time decay with the theta, it prolongs that later into the year for the Bills.
Okay.
Because
Steve learned something.
Exactly.
It is. Matt, you got anything else, or who are you talking to? I don't want to get any more angry. I just.
Yeah, I understand it. I mean, I truly do understand the anger and everything because it does.
Figure it the fuck out.
Right, and there was nothing done early in the year to figure out Matt Milano. There was nothing done. Yeah, you threw Dorian Williams in there, a second-year guy.
God, you're gonna kill me. You're right.
You're
gonna kill me.
Who's not able to play up to the level of an All-Pro, which apparently Sean McDermott's defense needs 2 All-Pros in the linebacker spot to play that nickel. But also, too, it comes down to it, Taron Johnson's not there either. So now your All-Pro nickel corner, your slot corner, whatever you want to call him, isn't there either. So now you're down those 2 guys, and you can't do anything without them.
All right.
So I'm glad it happened. I'm glad the lull happened now. I'm glad he went out.
Is this the lull, or is this the pit? Is this the lull, or is this the get right? Listen, is this the pit, the lull, or the get right? I hope it's the get right.
I think this week is the get right game. I think it's going.
Yeah, score prediction. Mine's 16-10. You're fucking in your feelings.
I don't know. Tennessee just always worries me. Just with their defense.
Well, I mean, it's a home game, home or away.
Yeah, the Bills Mafia travels very, very well.
Yeah, the Bills Mafia. The Bills Mafia. Don't put me on camera doing that. Who are you speaking to, Maddie? Give it to me. We'll end this because we're just gonna fucking scream at each other probably the next 2 hours. No one needs to hear it.
Who am I speaking to this week? I'm speaking to everybody on the offensive line.
Get it with me. Come on with it.
You got to continue to bring the nasty. We saw what they did against the Jets last week. Yes, they were down. Franklin Myers, who went to Denver. Yes, they were down. They don't have one of their better pass rushers in Hassan Reddick. They haven't had him yet this year. They let him seek a trade. We saw how they brought the nasty last week against the Jets. You can't go out and say, "Oh, that's because we hate the Jets." You got to continue to bring that. And finish blocks, play to the whistle, play through the whistle, whatever you got to do. You got to continue these blocks, and you can't worry about. I'm not saying don't worry about penalties, because you have to worry about penalties.
Play fearless.
Play fearless,
yeah.
And you got to continue going through the block. And it's the same thing to the defensive line. I'm going to say same thing to the defensive line.
Okay.
You gotta bring the nasty. You can't worry about getting roughing the passer penalties. We saw Aaron Rodgers say that the one on AJ Epinesa was actual. He doesn't understand why.
I was high when I said that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, Maddie, I'm speaking to our OCDC. Keep calling your game, baby. Your first years, undue pressure. Let Sean take all the heat. You got this. You're in your position because you should be in your position. Let Sean take the heat. Let them. Let him get toasty on the buns for the pundits. He trusts you guys. I trust you guys. Babbage, Brady,
keep bringing it. Keep bringing it in that booth next to each other. Keep bringing it to that booth next to each other. We do want to thank all of our sponsors this week: Eliota Palos, Sons of Erie Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools,
Fat Boy Surf
Club, Hamburg Brewing.
Pat Boyle.
Pat Boyle, thank you for coming on the show.
WFAN, go tune on to them.
Yes.
Nothing but illustrious guests. Maddie, good to be seen, buddy.
Good to be seen.